Hey, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get started with some messages from our spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. And I just saw the card Alchemy pop out. I put it back in and we'll see if it comes out again. We've got love. And then we have unleash your creativity. Okay. And what else do we have for the collective spirit? We've got family and tribe, and we've got healing. Okay, bottom of the deck, we've got home. This is a home and family situation, okay? Overall energy is home. It's about who makes you feel at home. It's about feeling at home where you live. It's about feeling at home with the people that you are surrounded by, whether they're family members or friends that feel like family. But this is also about structure and your stability. And for some of you, maybe you're entrapping yourself at home. Maybe you're staying home too much. For some of you, it's about, I think a lot of people are hermiting right now. And some of you, it's about isolation, isolating yourself from possibly even the ones you love. And sometimes we do have to do that, because it's, I think the word boundaries gets put out a little bit too much. Everybody says, oh, I'm setting a boundary, but I don't even think people really even realize what that is. People say, oh, I'm setting a boundary, but then they don't talk to you for years. That's not setting a boundary. That's escapism. You disappearing for years on end isn't you healing, or whoever it is that you're having some type of a issue with, right? And I feel like there needs to be healing around the family sector. It's about healing ancestral patterns, ancestral karma. And for some of you, you're feeling less creative. And I feel like when we're in love, and we're in love with our life and we're having, good family life, we tend to be more creative. But somebody is not feeling creative because of some of the stuff that's going on within the home and family. Okay? And there needs to be some type of healing. And for some of you, it's like you're just not feeling very well, so you're kind of staying at home, and maybe you're even separated from doing the things that you love because you're not feeling very well. That's also what I'm getting with the healing card. But I am seeing like an isolation here with the entrapment card. I can't not see that, okay? So be mindful of that, like hiding from the world because of all the things that, somebody else has done or, whatever. What are you doing, Turkey? All of a sudden I'm doing a reading and he wants to play. I just gave him a bath and I'm washing bedding and everything right now. So, excuse me. But, and for some of you, this is just really mundane, you need to just go back to the things you love. And for some of you, you're not feeling creative when it comes to your work. And maybe that's because you need to spend some time at home with your family, for those of you who have one, and it's like isolating yourself from the world right now. And for some of you, it's just because you're tired, and expect that. Like, we're all kind of tired right now. What else do we have here? Yeah, pay attention to the signs. And what else do we have here? Have faith. Listen, everything's going to work out, okay? Everything's going to work out. When it comes to your home and family life, I feel like if you're having, if things are just a distant memory, because I almost feel like, look, he's in the picture, and it doesn't necessarily mean a him. It could be, and because I do have the family and the tribe right here. So this could be with a partner. This could just be with your children. This could be with, your mom, your dad. Have faith that everything's going to work out. Have faith that your family is going to be protected. Have faith that, that everything's going to work out. You're going to feel better too. When I see, you have 2 number 10s in this reading. You have the 28, which adds to a 10, and you also have the 10. So there's some type of an ending that needs to happen. There's some type of a cycle. And like I was talking about earlier, this is about like ancestral patterns. And these cycles need to end. I think for some of you too, you tend to hold back your creativity, like your, your beliefs, your superpowers because of family. It would disappoint them, or it wouldn't be accepting, or it goes against your faith. It goes against the church. I know families who have disowned their own children because the church told them that they had to, because the kids were sinning or whatever, or didn't have the same beliefs and wanted to live their life and not under the thumb of a freaking church. And I say that here because we do have that cross, and that sits right underneath the family and tribe. So there could be some like religious aspects also that are going on for some of you, or this has to do with religious upbringing and your spiritual path. For some of you, you don't say that you're religious or spiritual. You're atheist, or you just don't attach to anything, or you're Buddhist. There's something here about your faith. And I think for others of you, this is about needing to study your faith based off of like, look at your family beliefs. I think for a lot of you, if you were to do that, it would help for a lot of the healing in love. Maybe things wouldn't be so conditional. And unfortunately, I do see that quite a bit, where love in your family is conditional. That's where you learn love. Oh, I can't love you because you think this way. I can't love you because you did this. I can't love you, ... There's a lot of reasons why people will say that they can't love you. I've got an entire family that does not, they don't love me because you don't treat people like that you love. And so this reading absolutely resonates, but it's like getting back into your creativity, doing all the things that, and becoming an authentic you. Because when you are being fully authentic in who you are, and stop using, other people and other beliefs to, suppress your dreams, like, you're going to get so much further in life when you stop allowing other people to dictate and your family to dictate what you need to be doing. I think for some of you, you're awakening to your spiritual gifts and healing potentials. When I see the healing, the paying attention to the signs, I think you are getting signs. I think you're getting signs from spirit. You're getting signs from spirit that's telling you to have faith. So pay attention to those. You could be sitting at home and you're reading something, or you're watching TV, or you're on social media, because I see her. It looks like nowadays everybody's got their damn phone in their hand. But you could be sitting isolated in your house, or in your room or whatever, away from everybody, and you're reading something, and it's like, oh my God, that totally makes sense. Yes, this is what my family is going through. And it's like, I feel like everybody needs healing, but, there will be people out there that will just point the finger at you and say you're the only one that needs to heal, when really everybody does. I think I see someone here who is looking at old pictures also, like they're reminiscing about the past, reminiscing about old times, when things were better in their family. But I'm almost getting like people want you, your family wants you to suppress who you are in order for you to fit in. And I think because of that, you've chosen to just kind of be alone. For some of you, it's like you've chosen to just isolate yourself, like away from everyone. And it gets lonely at times. I mean, even for me, like, I love my family. It's not it's not conditional. It's unconditional. Like, I love you guys regardless, even when they turn their back on me. And I mean, this has been going on since I was born, so this is just a repetitive pattern in our family karma, and it just keeps playing itself out, and it just gets fucking old. But now, instead of like being devastated and always trying to prove my point or always trying to get my point across or get people to see things the way I do, I just, I'm off on my own, lone fucking journey. And, if they want to catch up, I'll be here. The door is always open. But, and I have faith that one day things will come back around and we'll all be able to finally, hopefully, fucking squash all this stupid bullshit that's just unnecessary and a waste of fucking time. But, but it is what it is. At this point, it's like I see the signs, I do the astrology, I understand. So, at the end of the day, then you don't hurt your own feelings. And I think that that's where I'm at, is like, I'm not allowing this to hurt my feelings that my family has to go out and learn all of these lessons on their own and I can't be a part of it, because you can't fix everybody. Then you're not here to fix anybody anyway. You're here to fix yourself. And if people like what you're doing, they're going to want to know and they're going to want to follow in those footsteps because they're tired of fucking feeling the way they feel. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes it's about leading by example, leading by your own faith. And like I said, the people that are supposed to catch up, the family members that are supposed to return, will. But I absolutely feel like someone here wants to heal a relationship with somebody. But there's a lot of red flags. Like, you can't turn a blind eye to all the things that have happened. There has to be, yes, boundaries in some aspect, but boundaries, like I said, is just like, when you do this, it makes me feel like that. So please, refrain from doing that. But like, I got to the point with my family, like every single thing I said and did was like literally out of bounds. Like, I wasn't allowed to speak. I wasn't allowed to make a facial expression. I wasn't allowed to make a noise. Like, like, it got to the point where every single thing that I said and done was just being nitpicked. And eventually I was like, you know what? I can't live up to this, unfortunately. Like, it's not even unfortunate. If I can't be who I am and I have to, walk over eggshells just to be in your sphere, or broken glass is what it felt like. Then you know what? I'm better off, finding my own family and tribe. And sometimes that's what this is talking about, is like, if you don't fit in with, because we have these expectations of our family that they're supposed to act a certain way or be a certain way or do a certain thing or believe a certain thing. And that's just not, that's not life. That's good luck. In a perfect fucking world, that would be the case. But that's just not how it is. You can't expect, one group of people to be all things. Everybody has their beliefs. Everybody has their ways. Everybody has their chart. We're all here for separate, different reasons, and it's best that we don't try to mold somebody to fit into, some box that it makes us comfortable to stay in the energy in the relationship, right? If that just doesn't work, and, some of us are different, we dress different, we act different, some are more conservative, some are more, exotic, some are more flashy, some are more, covered up, like conservative. Someone here likes to wear their shirt off their shoulder. That could be a sign too. But we're all different, whether it's the way we look or the way we dress or the way we, we're all sent here to be different. Like, if everybody was cookie cutter, then it would make for a really shitty world. It would suck. It would be boring. I mean, there are some things in life that I'm just like, that doesn't fly with me. And it's an absolute no. And that's a boundary I have. Like, there are certain things that are just off limits and that I don't believe in, and you're not going to change my mind. But again, that's how we are supposed to be, I don't know. I think that this is a family dynamic. I do. And for some of you, it is a family dynamic where things have just gotten so awry, and, you get so far away from one another when time passes that, like I said, for me, I've gone off and made my own family, and this family that I've made for myself is much more understanding and motivating, and they don't try to change who I am. they see me when I'm passionate and they realize I'm not yelling at them. I'm just passionate about something that I'm talking about. I can make funny noises or stupid faces, and they get to see me in my raw, and they don't judge me for it. In fact, they embrace it and they laugh and they think it's great. And those are the types of people that you want to be around, that feel like family, you know. And not that we have the same faith, a lot of us do. We have a lot of the same beliefs, which is absolutely amazing. You know, and some people, they still believe in God and whatever else, and that's totally cool too, you know. Um, but I think for others of you too, this is about unleashing your creativity. This is about you having some type of a spiritual, superpower. And it's really, that was trickled down from ancestor to ancestor. And it's going to rely on you to continue this moving forward in this lifetime and spreading the word, sharing what you know, helping others, giving advice, working from home, doing what you love, helping other people heal, you know? And regardless, maybe your family snubs their nose at it. That's okay. Is it helping other people? Is it making their lives better? Then who cares what your family or anybody else says? It really doesn't matter. Because it's your mission. And in this lifetime, not everybody else that is sent here is supposed to understand our mission. Not even our own family. My family doesn't understand my mission. But I will tell you, they didn't like who I was before. And now they don't like me now. So chances are they're just never going to like me. And I have to be okay with that. But I have other family that fucking appreciates what I do and who I am and how I am and sees it as a benefit. Not everybody is meant to see you. Not even your own family. Because at the end of the day, your family is your biggest test and your biggest lesson. I'm going to leave that there, you guys, subject to interpretation. I love you guys all so much. Comment, let me know how this reading resonates with you. Thank you guys who have. Thank you people to those who have sent over donations. I really do appreciate it. It helps me motivate. Even if it's just $1, it really doesn't matter. It's an exchange of energy, and I really do appreciate it. Anyway, you guys, if you are interested in a personal reading, thefootstepstopeace.com. And hopefully I will chat with you soon. Take care.